to be our speaker today. Now, the theme yesterday, yesterday was World Braille Day. The 4th of January is observed by the Rotary, no, sorry, by the United Nations as World Braille Day. And I thought that since our meeting is very close to the 4th of January, we invite somebody to speak about Braille. And that's why the language, it's a very important communication tool. So that's why we invited Fawaz Abdulrahman. And he is a member of the, well, he's blind. I don't know. So, Fawaz, I'll unmute, please unmute yourself, and the floor is yours.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I start now?
Please, yes.
All right, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You can, yes, there we see you now.
All right. So I hope the position of the iPad is fine.
Yeah, the iPad is fine. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So it is my honor to be here and to give a short, I would say, just a story about the Braille. However, the first thing I want to clarify, since everyone is fresh and just joined, that the Braille is not a language. However, I am aware that newspapers and the media usually write as it is a language, Braille language, but it is not. It is just a system, a method of communication, of reading and writing, is called Braille. So Braille is an international system or international method to write various languages, Arabic, Arabic one of them, and English and all other languages, in addition to the Braille, the music notations. So it is just a system consisting of 6 dots, 2 columns. So on the left, 3 dots, on the right, 3 dots. That's called the Braille cell. So each cell containing 6 dots. Using these 6 dots, we write all the languages in the world, all the languages, just using the 6 dots. So each letter will be 1 cell, or each number would be 2 cells. So that's how we write the Braille and read as well. So why it's called Braille? Because of its founder and who is Louis Braille, who is from France. And so basically how it was done is that he was sighted, born sighted like normal, then became Braille at age of 3. And then later he lost the sight while playing in his father's workshop. And so he went to later on, because he was quite smart. It was in 800s, so 1800. So he was quite smart. So the first school for blind in France, they accepted him and welcomed him. And they were using a different system. How it was done, that, the normal letters, so A, B, C, D, the normal letter, they just raise it so it would be tactical. One can just touch it, and they was using that kind of system. So they will be like A, like this. So they will just touch it. They cannot type it. Someone have to draw it for them in a tactical way. However, that system is very inefficient, because the papers will be very huge, and it's hard to type, hard to produce the typing, and the students themselves cannot write. They just can read. And then this Louis Braille met a guy from the French military. They were using a secret system to communicate in their military. It was consist of 12 dots. So Louis Braille became very interested in this system, and he took it and learned it, then simplified it to B to the 6 dots. So he basically reduced it. Then produced his own system, which is called Braille. And basically he published it, some papers about it in the scientific community. He was teacher himself. However, ironically, in his lifetime, the Braille was not used where he was teaching. The headmaster of the school, the manager, because of the old thinking, he's like, no, we don't want to change the system we are used to. You know, that's the typical way of how things move. However, after his death, the world became like, no, we need this. And this is the best method for blind to communicate, to write and read and learn. And then also in Arabic, the Arabic Braille became first in 1951. That was when the first Braille introduced. And now it is used around 150 million blind people across the world in all various fields of education and workforce and all other systems. Myself, I was a science student in a high school, and in the at the university in the computer science. I majored in computer science, and I cannot imagine a way I can do math without science, math or physics or chemistry. I really need Braille for these. I know that others I can do easily on the computer. Even in the programming, the Braille will give you the absolute knowledge what's written. By the speech, you can miss a bracket or a colon or a comma, but with Braille, it's pretty much like you're looking at it, but with the fingers. So like it's tactical stuff. So yeah, and so that's where I would like to just conclude that we have to raise awareness about the Brailles. I know some new blind kids, they don't realize how important it is, because commonly the smartphones and smart devices had speech. Like my phone here, it would speak like this. So you can hear the speech. So that's how we use the computers and the phones and all that. But these are good for reading stuff, books, normal literature and stuff like that, messages, emails, whatever it is. However, when it comes to the math, when it comes to the programming, you need Braille, because you need to know each bracket, each comma, each line, each number. You don't want to miss anything. So yeah, that's where the Braille becomes quite handy, and it goes hand in hand with the technology. Not recently, I mean, in the last decade, last 2 decades, we have Braille system. It's called Braille display, which is refreshable, connected to computer or by itself. You can type and delete and read real time. It contains of Braille cells, but refreshable, so it will be electronic. The old system would be on the normal papers, but the paper will be slightly thicker than the normal notebook, because the Braille will be impressed to the paper. So it has to be slightly thicker than the normal paper. So yeah, that's... sorry, I got a call. So I'm back now. So yeah, that's where I would like to conclude this, to mention the importance of the Braille. And any questions about Braille or about visual impaired life, I'm here. I would be glad to answer. It would be my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Very interesting.
Yes,
yeah, give me a second, DG Dafa. I'm just going to think. It's very interesting. But you mentioned you're a science teacher, isn't it? So how was that? I mean, just give us a bit of that experience teaching
No, I am. So I am a science student. I'm not.
Sorry, student.
Yeah. So I was the first blind in Bahrain to enter the science path in the high school. It was not allowed. However, I had this dream since the intermediate school, Ladadi, that I want to enter the computer science. I had a passion of technology. I love technology. So I just had in my mind that I want to enter technology, the computer science. And so I heard that it is not possible to enter computer science if you don't enter the science path in the high school. So I had to overcome that barrier. And I made several letters to the education department, the ministry, and all that. And I had people supporting me. I was lucky enough to have people around me to support me, the school managers, the headmasters, and all that. So they gave me support, and it was possible. Then also, I was the first blind student in Bahrain, and also in the Gulf region. I think I don't know anyone entered before me, and the computer science student. And so I entered the computer science, and it was quite extremely challenging. But with help of friends and family and friends in general, I was managed to overcome and graduate in this June 2021, and currently I'm job seeker. So just recently graduated with computer science. Yeah, that's the experience.
Very interesting. DG Dafa, please go ahead with your question.
Okay, thank you, President Faisal. Fawaz Abdulrahman, shukran jazilan. It was really enlightening what you have said so far. I just have few questions to ask you, because you're supposed to be the expert. First of all, can anyone go? Is there kind of a school or somewhere when one can learn the Braille? It doesn't have to be for people who are blind. It can be for anybody, right? That's one. Okay, so there is. The second point is it used? Do you think that military people prefer using it because it is not everybody knows it? So military people will use this kind of technology, if I can call it, or whatever. Or the military people usually have their own way of communication.
So regarding the first question, of course, I'm a member of the Friendship Society for the Blind, and I'm certain that the society would welcome anyone, and you can find many people there volunteering to teach others the Braille, including myself. And also there is the Blind Institute, Bahraini Saudi Blind Institute for the Blind, where I studied my primary school. And I'm certain as well they would be glad. And nowadays over the internet, you can find many lessons. So for example, if you want to learn the alphabetic Braille, just the A to Z, just the 26 symbols, right? So it wouldn't take much of one's time. And as I mentioned, these two organizations, they would be more than glad to welcome anyone who wants to learn or who wants to just know and discover. The humankind is usually curious. So fulfill the curiosity is the main goal. So anyone would be more than welcome to visit any of these two organizations. And
yes, regarding, go ahead. Go ahead, Fawaz. Go ahead.
Okay. So regarding the second question, well, I am not familiar with the military anymore, but the Braille itself, it derived from the military system. It was used in the 700s in the French military. They had a special system called consist of 12 dots. However, I would imagine nowadays our encryption system is extremely high. Our math is very, very advanced. So I wouldn't think people would use Braille because it is somewhat easily decryptable. The military wants something extremely highly hard to encrypt. So we know that even in the WW2, it was very, very highly used encrypted messages, the communication devices. And when the British managed to decrypt it, they sort of won the war. So the technology is extremely high nowadays. So I would say now it's the battle of the math and technology, mathematics and technology.
Fawaz, thank you very much. I just want to say that I know we don't have much time, but maybe it is not the right time, but is it possible to have an example, to show us an example how you operate and how you really read the Braille through?
Yeah, but I don't think
ready for it.
I mean, I can show you a card where I have written Braille, but I don't know if it will be visible in the camera or not. But
okay,
let me grab the card real quick and show you over the camera. But I really doubt that you can see the. Let's see. Let me bring the card, and so you can. All right. Let's go to another room which has lighting. All right. So I have a card here. So this has Braille writing over it. This is actually, but I don't. So this has.
It's slightly clear, but it's not that clear. But yes.
Yeah. So it has dots. Yeah. And this is funny card. It's basically instruction to play Ono game card. So this is instruction card. So but that is the idea. So how I would read, I would just move my finger. It's like this. I would just move it, but of course not like this. I would be putting on the surface, but this is the general idea behind it. So yeah.
Very interesting.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Fawaz. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I believe Janan was the next person to raise her hand.
Yes. Hello, everyone. And Fawaz, you may not have the sight, but you have the insight and the curiosity, and an absolute clean and clear mind. I love everything that you said. I had one question. What about musical notes? Do they have them in Braille?
Yes, they do. And Louis Braille himself was a musician. He was an organ player in the church. However, yes, there is musical notes. And in Bahraini Saudi Institute for the Blind, we used to have musical books and a musical teacher. Not anymore, but when I was studying, I was a keyboard player myself. I still do play keyboard and piano, but we do have musical books, musical notations, and everything about music for all the instruments, not only for one or two, all the instruments.
You know, I was almost certain that you are a musician, and you know the world, yes, and the world's most beloved opera singer is Andrea Bocelli.
Oh, yeah.
So it does give something. Where there is something that is given beyond the human imagination, and sky is the limit. Really amazing.
Yeah, we have some popular musicians, TV Wonder as well,
Faisal, I don't know how to raise my hand in my system, so put me in the online, you know.
Okay, I'll put you in
my
the
turn
queue. Sorry, Janan, you finished your question? Yeah, I think she finished.
Yes, I did. Yes, I
did. Thank you, Janan. I believe
so
Khalid Turk is next, but would you mind, or would you like to?
I'll just ask the question. So, yes, first of all, thank you, Fawaz, for your enlightening presentation. It's really very impressive to see what you have achieved in your life, and not only to learn Braille, but to speak the English language so fluently and to make this presentation. Truly amazing. Now, I think you will be actually like a guiding light for many youngsters who have the same situation as yourself, and I hope that that you will inspire them. Very inspirational. The question is that Bahrain doesn't have a lot of signs around located for the people with the condition, with your condition. So what would you request the Rotary Club to do for the blind community to place specific signs for guiding, the people to learn and to find their ways around? Like, they usually put it in the elevators, but they don't put it everywhere else. Where do you think you need such signs to be made available?
Oh, yeah. All right. So in this case, unfortunately, there are, for example, even in the elevator, it would be funny because you can find the Braille label on the switches. However, you don't get the audible feedback from you. When some elevators, you reach some floors, it will say floor 1, floor 2, floor 3. That is very important in addition to the Braille buttons. So some elevators, it's just because arriving from other countries, it has some Braille labels. They'll just install it. They don't know even what's its purpose, perhaps. So it is minor details that are missing, unfortunately. Where one would like to see the signs, probably in the hospitals, for example, in the Bahrain University, for instance, and putting these signs are not costly. However, unfortunately, the signs themselves won't do much if the blind people themselves don't have the mobility skills, the navigation skills. They have to use the cane. They have to have the mobility skills. They have to have the enough awareness of importance of using the white cane. We have plenty elements are missing in the recent days, unfortunately. I wish all the blind organization, they put their hands together to take the recent generation, the new generation, to next level, where they use the white cane, where they use the Braille, where they use the recent technologies, not only the mobile phones. The mobile phones would not get too much far. So myself, I was using the cane. Because of cane, I was able to navigate the whole university by myself. I didn't need much assistance. And so the University of Bahrain is huge place. It's not small. So one is blind and don't use the white cane. It'll be always relying on others to guide him to place, to help him place to place. So I would say that the blind people themselves learning the mobility skills, the necessary mobility skills, it would be very nice to have the Braille signs in the Bahrain University, in the hospitals. These are like main two places, in addition to other places later on, for example, in other government organizations. Also, I really wish banks, if anyone have here influence within banking administration, they can install the talking ATM machines. Now most of us have to rely on someone else to use the ATM machine. However, there are some, very few actually, BBK talking ATMs. I hope other banks and even the BBK, they continue installing these machines. It would be very helpful for independent blind people.
Thank you very much, Fawaz. I mean, maybe the next year's Rotary board can actually sit with you to go through certain possibilities and make this a project for the Rotary Club if the other members agree. The only thing that I would say, I would not agree for the ATM machine to speak, because then everybody would know the PIN code of your card.
Actually, how it works is that there will be a jack, the inserting 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, So once you insert your headphone into the slot, the screen goes blank and the ATM start talking in your earphone. So it's
such a thing exists.
Secure.
So
Yeah,
you're
it
saying
exists
such a
here in
thing
Bahrain.
exists.
You can see it in Isa Town in BBK branch. There is one actually. Yeah, and some of them also has Braille display, some ATMs.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Fawaz.
sorry of the phone call. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, so it exists, and let me make it airplane mode. So
okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
No
I'll give it back the floor to you, President Faisal.
Thank you, Past President Khalid. I mean, if you think about it, it will actually give more business to banks because it opens up a whole new market for them. If they have, if they have adjustments for the accommodations for the blind community.
Yeah.
Yes. So next we have, we'll take a question from Past President Seema because her hand was up first.
No,
and then
you have His Excellency Mr. Abdul Nabi Ashala.
Yes.
And then we'll, okay, if it's fine with Seema, we can go with His Excellency first, and then Seema.
It's fine with me.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Please know that, do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Pleased to know that you have invited Fawaz as a speaker on this particular day and occasion. I have heard Fawaz Abdulrahman a long time ago. He is one of those who are in the forefront among the blind people who was able to defeat blindness. And I can tell you, I have an experience with them. When I was a minister for 7.5 years, I was engaged directly with the issues of what it used to be called the disabled. And now not anymore, that term is used. And one of them are those who are in the blindness community or blind community. I have seen a brilliant example of such people, you know. Those who are we say in Arabic, you know, those انت تفقد البصر لكن ما تفقد البصيرة. We know that there is a difference between sight and you are able to see. We have seen many people who have sight, but they are not able to see things. And I have seen many people who lost their sight, but they are able to see things better than those who has the sight. So we want to, and how the Rotary Club can help. I think this is not the first time that the Rotary was engaged with this issue. They have done it before. I think we should continue to do our best. And nowadays, as I follow this issue very closely, there are many tools of really helping the blinds to live a normal life and to find their ways. Physically and otherwise. Maybe we have a role to ensure that we help those to use those tools and to live their life normally, which is also possible. I think it's an occasion to say to Fawaz and to the people like him that we really feel gratified, we feel proud to see that we have people who have decided and determined to defeat blindness. And Braille actually is not a language, as Fawaz said. It is a tool, another tool of communication. You can use the same letters, or those points. I think Fawaz mentioned about 6 points only to communicate in any language you want, you know. And at one stage, I was like Abu Ahmed said, that I was saying, why don't we also learn that language? Without underestimating the efforts of those who lost their sight, I believe it is not very difficult to learn. But in any case, I think Fawaz is doing extremely well. And Mr. President, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to interact with this issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And yes, correct. It is 6 dots and it is not difficult. And it would be nice even if someone learns few letters, because, you know, just as I said, you will fulfill your curiosity, then it becomes something normal. That's a goal of mine, that anyone don't look at any other person, even if he is disabled, that he's like extremely, and not in any other way. I mean, not as a pitiful, not as a superhero, just another human, normal human. That's my goal. Is that, for example, if you, as anyone here or anyone of my friends, while playing football or while cutting a fruit, if he made slight injury, he cannot use his left hand for a small while, for example, that will not turn him to a different person. He will be still him. For example, Mr. Faisal, he will be still Mr. Faisal, just he can't use his left hand for a short while due to an injury, for example. That's my goal, is that everyone will be Fawaz, Faisal will be Faisal, and any other person. Just that that person needs a different tool for a while or for that certain purpose. If someone broke his leg, he needs a stretcher or a wheelchair for a while to able to navigate, but he will be himself, and he will have his abilities, and he will have his faults as any other human being. That's my goal, to normalize the thinking of all other people. Don't want to be a superhero and don't want to be a pitiful, just to be a normal hero. That's my ultimate goal, to be honest. to spread in the social, in the culture, I mean. And regarding the question that how the help can be delivered, here it's something very important I would like to say, is that that unfortunately, maybe some people would not like that I say this, but unfortunately, when delivering some tools in these countries, people spend a lot of money and without studying the needs of people. Some of these tools are marketing tools. Some of them is not for everyone. For instance, there's a person who is low vision. He has some sight, but he's low vision. He doesn't need a Braille device. Maybe he maybe need a magnifier. He maybe need something to enlarge the print, the large print. There's some other person who is totally blind but doesn't read Braille. Maybe he needs a laptop. He doesn't need a Braille display. He may need. He may be working in I don't know, in some office, and he needs some other device. So that's my I wish, is that when someone is donating a device or something of that sort, that we all know that most of the devices are quite expensive, and most blind people cannot afford it. But in the meantime, not everyone have the same need. Not all blind people need one device. No, there are various needs, various challenges. So I really wish like each people get what they need, where they can deliver, where they can deliver, I mean, succeed in their education and in their employment field, wherever it is. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And maybe later, if you give me a chance, just to add, Fawaz mentioned that he is looking for a job, and on behalf of the Rotary, I would like to help him in finding a job. So if you get for me his communication, he can communicate with me. Give him my mobile number if you don't mind, or I can give him now. And on behalf of the Rotary, I will do my best to find that he should be employed. A person like him should be employed.
Very much. That would be much, much appreciated.
That's a very generous offer.
Very generous of you, Jano. I have his details. I can send you all his details.
Thank you. It's me, not Jano.
God bless you, Your Excellency.
sorry.
ابو مشعل
Send it to me.
بمشعل
Send
سيما
it
معاك
to Jano.
شلونك
Jano will send
مسامحة.
it to me.
I am sorry. صوتك وايد كأنك جانو. I do apologize.
لان جانو بالصوره قريب منا لابو مشعل خربطت بالصور
Send it to Jano and he will send it to me. Don't worry.
لا ابو مشعل الحين انا بطرش لك.
الله يسلمك. شكرا.
If I may.
Sorry, Luay, do you want to talk?
No, تفضلي.
No, I don't have a question for you, Fawaz. All I just want to say thank you very much for accepting that you talk today. It was really enlightening presentation, and inshallah next year we will work. I will have a meeting with you, and we will see how we can help. We've been helping. Like I said, we did donated. Rotary Club of Salmaniya donated 10 laptops. I don't know if our president mentioned that or not.
No, yeah, I didn't mention that.
And we are helping also the deaf societies. So of course we are much willing to help you guys. Inshallah I will meet you, and that if it's not for this year, inshallah it will be next year. Okay,
Inshallah.
Thank you very much.
I would like to mention that we also supplied Braille machines in between 2012-2013 to the school.
Oh yeah, so yeah, correct. I mean, I heard that. The problem is I don't know which Rotary is that, because I remember for one Rotary club, for more than once, I played music for their. They were meeting in Hilton Hotel. I remember.
It's our club.
Oh yeah,
Hilton. It used to be Hilton. Now it is Golden Tulip.
Golden Tulip, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I played their music, and they donated, I think, printer or something, Braille printer or something to our school back in days. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
If I may add something, President Faisal.
Please go ahead,
Fawaz, it's honor to have you here. And my name is Laya. I was speaking with you because I got your number from Seema. Thank you very much. I want to salute you for one thing, for everything, of course, first of all. But one thing is that you're smiling always. Yani, God bless you. Please keep smiling. You have a gift of smiling and making anybody that look at you feels comfortable. And we have to smile by force when we are looking to you. God bless you. God bless you also, Your Excellency Abdul Nabi Shu'la, for inshallah helping Fawaz and finding something for him. And thank you everyone for attending this. And please, President Faisal, continue. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I believe that's the end of the questions. I'll just like to say that we take things that we have every day for granted, and we should appreciate people like Fawaz who shed a light on alhamdulillah what we have. A quick question, Fawaz, sorry. I hope I was politically correct. Should I call you or visually impaired, or
well, that is not a big deal. I mean, so honestly, many people, I mean, it's only in here our region is that some words has bad connotation somewhat, so it's they disabled or whatever, but it is not. I mean, why you wouldn't call someone as disabled? I mean, it's not a shame, right? So being disabled is not a shame thing. So you would avoid only if it is a shame. You don't want to call someone a thief. You don't want to call someone something of that sort of bad. But being disabled is something normal. So disabled is fine, and blind and visually impaired is slightly different. Blind is someone cannot see at all, or cannot use his vision for daily living. However, visually impaired can be low vision. There are, some people, they need magnification, or some people, they can see the lights and colors. However, they cannot see the letters or reading or writing. They have to use Braille. So, and other assistive devices. So visually impaired is a larger group, and blind is completely dead eyes. So my left eye is completely dead. I cannot see anything in it, not even dark. I mean, some people think it is, someone is blind, they will see dark. That is not the case. They see nothing, not even dark. However, my right eye, I can see the lights and colors if I look closely. I can identify the colors under certain lighting, but it is not much of use. But still, it's not like completely dead as the left eye. So just want to clarify, it's not something dramatic, it's not Netflix, but just for the clarification for all that.
Very, very interesting.
Faisal, in our culture, we solve this problem. There are good things in our culture sometimes. So one of them is that we don't call the blind al-a'ma, we call al-basir. Al-basir. Basir. So the opposite way.
Well, it's not a big deal. I mean, I really don't mind. It's the thing is in the past lecture, and I mean in the literature in the past, it was somewhat shame to have a disabled person in their family, or to shame to have someone disabled in their relatives. However, culture is now changing, alhamdulillah, and so the wordings are fine. I mean, I really don't mind, but maybe there are some people, the poetic, the poet and the people of literature, they do mind. They say, no, I don't like being called, it's somewhat sensitive. But myself, I don't mind. Whatever it is, I just want things to get done. I'm more of a practical side, I think. I really don't know, but yeah, I personally don't mind. But alhamdulillah, whatever you call it, as long as people are aware they are normal, they can live their lives, it is all good, inshallah.
Faisal, I'm going to call you Al-Basir from now on. And I am proud to call you Al-Basir.
Alhamdulillah, whatever it is, whatever makes you comfortable, I am happy with it.
Fawaz, are you aware of any medical advances in blindness?
Well, I mean, there are some breakthroughs which are scientific experiments. And then again, as I said, each condition is different. So, like, we have such breakthrough that is available for normal consumers. I haven't heard of any so far, but I am certain that there are some people who are low vision may find a treatment if they look for it, but they are like not willing to. There are some others, no, it's a hopeless condition. Myself, when I was young, before reaching 6 years, I have done around 13 surgeries on my eyes, mostly to find a treatment, most of which has done in India. But yeah, none of them were successful. But there are others not seeking treatment at all. I believe that low vision people should seek treatment, especially they have really mild low vision. But if it is very severe, then not yet, I think.
Okay, I think we'll take one more question. I think Sabahat, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, actually, it's not a question. It is like thank you for being with us. I remember your music when we host you in Golden Tulip now in our meeting. It was quite amazing. But you know, as a Rotary Club of Salmaniya, we may communicate with you next year for further projects achieving together. I mean, you can be our one of the like honorary member. You can work with us for your ideas, and we can try to achieve those ideas to be in life. It's a great ideas, how you speak, how you put into life. We really like to work such a person who is really devoted to issue. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
And as you said, there are so many treatments. I have a couple of people from my family as well. We know that there are so many treatments, but sometimes we don't lose the hope. I mean, hope is always there. Yeah. Inshallah, we will have a better days. Thank you. Thank you for us being with us today.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Sabahat. So we're running out of time. So I'll just say, I would like to give a loud round of applause. So unmute yourselves. Would you give a loud round of applause for our guest speaker? Very inspirational, very interesting talk.
Thank you very much.
We really enjoyed your talk. We